Hi guys and welcome to F1 News. Today we're going to make a little review of all the news that we have had this week. Let's start by one of the biggest news. Last Monday, McLaren announced that Stoffel Vandoorne will not continue in the team next season. Some minutes later, they announced that it's Lando Norris, the driver that will replace him. The British is currently competing in Formula 2 for Carlin Motorsport, and he is only 18 years old. With this move, McLaren has confirmed their lineup for the 2019 Formula 1 season. The drivers will be the Spaniard Carlos Sainz and, as I said, the British Lando Norris, and it's the first time since 2007 that McLaren announced two new drivers for his team. The last time was a similar situation to what we have now. In 2007, McLaren signed Fernando Alonso, a Spanish driver that came from Renault, the same that Carlos Sainz now, and they also signed Lewis Hamilton, a British promise with a lot of future, the same that Lando Norris now. Another news is that Helmut Marko said last Tuesday that Red Bull can leave Formula 1 if their relationship with Honda is not good. This is the last season of Red Bull Renault Alliance. Honda will motorize in 2019 the Austrian team. Although there are still a few months to start his alliance, Helmut Marko has already said one of his famous threats and has announced that they will leave Formula 1 if they fail with the Japanese engine. If Honda doesn't offer the spec performance, it is possible that Red Bull will not be able to leave the normative changes that are expected for the year 2021. Surprising threats from Red Bull, but it is true that it's not the first time that they say something like this and they don't leave Formula 1. The same day we knew that Pat Fry signed for McLaren. The booking team continues its restructuring plan and will immediately have the British engineer, who has already worked in the team. McLaren is still looking for restructuring to be a strong team in the future. His new asset will be Pat Fry, who will be the new engineering director to help reinforce the technical department. They are still waiting for James Key to join the team next season, but in the case of Fry, he will join McLaren immediately and it will be James Key's help in his position as technical director. Pat Fry returns to Formula 1 and returns to McLaren, where he spent much of his career. He began his career in Benetton and then signed for McLaren, where he was from 1993 to 2010. Later he was Manors engineer until his disappearance. Fry will be the one to help McLaren in their preparation process for 2019, when the booking team will be the only Renault client team. The next day, on Wednesday, more details came to light regarding to the budget limit that Liberty Media will introduce in 2019 on a provisional basis. Although initially it was planned to limit the money of the equipment to 130 million euros, finally it will begin by allowing them to use up to 170 million euros, and progressively it will reach 130 in 2023. The 130 million euros that Liberty Media wanted for 2021 as a budget limit will not arrive until 2023. Then the budget limit that will arrive next year will go from 170 million euros in 2021 to 150 in 2022 and finally to 130 in 2023. Toro Rosso has aroused new rumors about its lineup for 2019 following an image that shared on Twitter. There we can see the team reserve Sebastian Buemi making a seat for the second time in STR13. Toro Rosso is one of the teams that hasn't closed its 2019 lineup. Next year, Pierre Gasly will be promoted to Red Bull as a teammate of Max Verstappen, and the future of Brendan Hartley within the team is not sure. In recent days, Red Bull consultant Helmut Marko has pointed out that they have a long list of candidates for both Toro Rosso seats. Specifically, the Austrian said they studied 10 names, among them may be Buemi, who passed through Faenza last Wednesday to take a seat on the STR13 for the second time this year. Reserve driver seats are usually made at the beginning of the season. Going through this process a second time in the same year is not usual, not necessary, unless the driver has changed his weight. In addition to his role as a substitute for the two Red Bull and Toro Rosso drivers, Buemi is in one of his best seasons, as he leads the World Endurance Championship with Toyota and has just won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. With Buemi, other candidates for the seat in Toro Rosso are Danny Kvyat, Stoffel Vandoorne, who already knows he will not be in Mclaren in 2019, and Esteban Ocon, whom he will replace sooner or later in Force India Lance Stroll, since his father, Lawrence, has bought the Indian team. One of the latest news that we have is that Romain Grosjean is close to renovate with Haas. The situation of the French has changed thanks to the 6th place in Monza, although the Frenchman was disqualified for irregularities in the floor of his BF18. Günther Steiner was happy with his performance. Since the Grand Prix of Germany, Romain Grosjean is recovering from a difficult first half of the season, which may have cost his seat in Formula 1. Many saw him outside the Grand Circus. However, the latest results and above all, his 6th set in Monza have made Günther Steiner trust him again. It is possible that before announcing Sebastian Vettel's teammate for 2019, Ferrari wants to be clear to the drivers who will replace next year in Haas and Sauber. In Monza, Raikkonen insisted that he wants to continue in Formula 1, but insists that it wasn't his decision, but the Scuderia. And is that the arrival of Charles Leclerc to Ferrari for 2019 every time seems more evident. The last scene that speaks of this move are the words of Leipo Elgnan, majority shareholder of the FCA group to which Ferrari belongs. The Italian has dedicated a few words of welcome to the Monegasque on Facebook, before the news is official, and a few minutes later his message has disappeared. In the message, the company transmits that it doesn't take too long for the Sauber driver to ride with the red team. And this is all. Thanks for watching. Give me a like if you like the video, comment your impressions and subscribe if you are not. See you in the next video.